Hey, Instagram. We have an awesome opportunity here to talk to Jay from Rival Sons here in a few. Our first Instagram Live that we are looking forward to doing. So if you have any questions, then definitely throw them our way, especially as we do the actual interview when he pops up here in a little bit. We'd love to have some of your questions. We had prepped up with a few questions from folks here in a little bit. And if you're just joining us, let me know if you can hear me okay, because I'm using my earbuds. That'd be great. As we trickle into the arena, as Dr. Disrespect would say. If you're a Disrespect fan, you should be. So we're pretty excited to try out this format. Haven't had a chance to do this yet. So Rival Son guys are super cool. We had them in for an acoustic session in 2018. Loving the album. So yeah, I hope everybody out there is doing good. I know it's been weird times. We appreciate everybody who's been sending us messages and interacting with us and listening to the station throughout this COVID-19 crisis. It's, we're trying to be a place where you can escape some of the craziness out there. So he'll be joining us here in just a little bit. So in the meantime, does anybody have any other questions? Be happy to answer them. Or how any of this works. I actually haven't spent a lot of time doing Instagram Live, so I don't know how all of this works. I'm not going to be getting all into the crazy filters things here. Let's see. What is this? Oh, right. You can write a message in the middle of this thing. Oh, there we go. Okay. Go live with. So, no questions, huh? Y'all a bunch of scaredy pants? Yeah, keep the hearts coming. I'm going to wave at people. How about that? I'm waving. Thank you. We appreciate being awesome. We try. We really do try. Yeah, here in the X-Rock studio, Jason's at home, so he's doing his show from his house. Let's see, right above me up here is a picture of, from like 2008 or 9. Shine down. So, buddy Dan Stevens, rest in peace, brother, up there. So, yeah, we're going to kick this thing off here as soon as Jay comes this way. And hopefully I don't screw that up. But yeah, you can ask questions. Oh, what are we doing to stay busy with the lockdown? Well, work. I mean, we've got some stuff here and there, obviously not as much as we used to. We've got a lot of extra time on our hands. So just trying to keep up and plan for things that we can do once we get through some of this. But a lot of those plans are, hard to make because we don't know exactly what it's going to look like after we start to reopen things. Oh, thanks, Sammy. Appreciate that. Our moderator. No, I'm at the X-Rock Studios. Myself and Nick have been doing the show from here. Adam's doing the show from here, though off and on we've been kind of quarantined. I was um, at home for a while. Best new band I've discovered lately. I'm digging that band Discrepancies. We put them on the Cage Match the other day, so you should check those out. You can hear that on exclusive too. Discrepancies. Not usually a big fan of the rap rock stuff, but they were pretty cool. And I like Sleep Signals. Like those guys a lot. We played a song today by a band called Holding Absence, which was pretty cool. How about you? Anybody we should keep an eye out for? Netflix. I don't know why. I haven't done Hulu a whole lot. I have kind of made a joke about how I would never get Hulu because The Handmaid's Tale creeped me out just looking at it. But eventually, I think Hulu's going to be doing some stuff where I need to pay attention. But we've always been a Netflix. Yup, I see it. Okay. Let me... Yeah.
Well, hello there.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, doing good. Just got some rain over here, and just outside of Nashville, Tennessee.
Is that where you're making your home these days?
That's right. Yeah, I'm down in Franklin, just right outside of Nashville.
I spent some time in Nashville last year, and it is beautiful there. It's a lot of fun. It's a fun town, man.
It really is. There's a lot to do, typically, under typical circumstances. But no, it's lovely out here. And I live a little bit further south, like I said, in Franklin. I live a little more out in the country out here. It's really nice.
Yeah, they call it the Hollywood of the South. So you're living in the right place these days.
Right, Nash Vegas.
Exactly. So we had you come in and do an acoustic a couple years ago. So it's been about 2 years since we've had a chance to see you. In that time, you put out a new album and been amazingly well received. Is that something that has surprised you that people have been flocking to that a little bit more these days?
I think the response to the Feral Roots record, it's been tremendous. With getting the 2 nominations for from the Recording Academy for getting 2 Grammy nominations. That was a really, really big one for us, kind of a landmark. Feral Roots gave us a lot more recognition than I think that, well, we just didn't expect. We weren't anticipating for it to blow up like it did, because we've always been chugging along, touring internationally, touring the States. Feral Roots is our 7th record. And for that to blow up, it was a really, really great feeling. Gave us our first #1.
Yeah, and I think that probably a lot of people would be surprised to find out how many albums you guys have had in the vault there, because a lot of times people they see a band and they hear them on the radio, they think, oh, this is the first time they've been around, but you've been working at this pretty hard. And somebody who has been a fan of yours for a long time, Corey Taylor, recently came out and said that you're his favorite band in the last 10 years. What did that feel like to have somebody of his stature say that about you and your band?
Well, first of all, thank you, Corey. Corey's a really great guy. I think that anytime you get accolades from any of your peers, especially ones that are so highly lauded, of course, it's a really good feeling. It's a really good feeling just to know that you're appreciated. I know a lot of artists or people will go like, none of that matters. Yeah, whatever. I'm not really wired that way. It feels good. Somebody compliments the shoes you're wearing. Yeah, put some spring in your step. But someone like Corey or other, as I said, highly lauded artists, it's great to be recognized by your peers. That's for sure.
Well, added into that, we had some viewer questions, and one of them was, "What was it like to get the call to go on the Black Sabbath tour?" That's another big deal where it's like, man, that what a huge honor that is. What was that whole thing like for you guys?
That that's one of those parts in your life. This is a really, really crazy lifestyle because you really can't count on much. You know, just the artistic lifestyle is that way in general. But to be struggling, and we get a call from our manager, and he says, "Yeah, it's uh, Sharon or Ozzy and Sharon had hit up our management about it, and they wanted us to do the entire tour, the entire world tour for Black Sabbath's final tour. You know, just before they hung their guns, and it's it it couldn't sink in, you know, because the reality of it that you're going to be on those arena stages, you know, singing. I'll be up there singing to, you know, anywhere from 30 to 80,000 people a night for over a year. And it's Black Sabbath. It's Black
Right.
Sabbath. You know, we're getting to play, you know, 40 minutes or so every night for their audience. They gave us what they did for us is it's just like what you would see in a movie or something where you get that shot or somebody really takes a chance on you and pays it forward, and they say, look, we're going to give you our audience. You are Rival Sons. You guys are a theater band. You know, we were out of clubs. I'm, you know, playing clubs in some territories, but I said, look, you guys are great. Now we're going to give you the opportunity to get the education to be an arena band. Here is how it here's how it works. And our teachers and, you know, our big brothers were Black Sabbath, and that's incalculable. It's still insane. It was a great opportunity for us, and what a year it was.
Yeah, that would be amazing. You got to find out whoever helped put you on the radar for Sharon and give him a big kiss. You know what I
I know it
mean?
well. I know exactly how it happened. It was Classic Rock Magazine was having uh, their award ceremony that they have every year, and typically it is in London. And we've gone there before and performed, and, you know, met all of these enormous stars and legendary artists. But this time it was happening in LA, and so we went and we played a couple of songs, and then we were back in the press tent, and it was really something because like you got uh, you know, all of these, like everyone under the sun, from like Brian May, you know, Jeff Beck, like just all of the heroes. And
Yeah.
I mean, like Billy Gibbons, everyone. I mean, even Eric Idle was there, you know, from Monty Python. Everybody was there, and you're shaking hands with people back there in the press area. And then we're getting ready to walk back in toward the theater, and Ozzy and Ozzy and Sharon pass us, or they pass our keyboard player. We walk by and we say hi to them, but they talk to our keyboard player and they say, "What? Oh my God! You know what? Who the hell are you guys? Who's your manager?" So he tells them, and then it was just a couple days later. They said, I think they wanted to give us a kind of a trial run for us to go down to Sao Paulo, Brazil, for Monsters of Rock. So then we did that. After we did that one is when we got the offer to do the full year. So it was face to face contact.
Wow. Wow, that's really cool. When is it that you realized you had a powerful voice? When you knew you could really do something with your voice? When did you
It's
realize that?
I I have to tell you that singing has always been part of my gig, even from the time I was a little boy. Pretty much, it's always been like a self-soothing. You know, being a really young child, as soon as I could talk, my parents say that as soon as I could talk, I would sing all the time. And I think that singing was, as I said, like a self-soothing, very comforting thing for me, because music was very much a part of the household. And my mom would sing to me, and both my grandmas on both sides would sing to me, and there was just always music going on. So music itself was very much, it was a common, it was as common as anything else, you know, in a communicative way. So for me, when I found out that I could sing loud, I think that that was really more when I was a teenager. I remember playing in, like, you know, having to be in a hardcore band, because when you're first starting out, I still, you know, I wanted to play, I was playing acoustic guitar and all of that. And, you know, at like 11, 12. And by the time I was 13, I got asked to join like a hardcore band in my small town, because that was the only music. Those were the only bands, you know, that people were into. And so I paid my dues there for about a year, and a lot of screaming there. And then after that, I think that just projecting and singing really loud, it feels really good. It feels it feels really good to be anywhere and to hear your voice reverberate in a room, or reverberate off of objects back to you. It's your voice filling an environment, and I think that's just it's a very interesting experience. You know, to this day, I love it.
Yeah, such an amazing instrument. And you just put out an amazing acoustic version of Shooting Stars. And I see that you have a guitar over there. Maybe rumor has it we could get a
Yeah,
little
I have a
taste
couple
of
of
that.
guitars. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Um, let me see here. Let me see if my allergies will let me do it. My love is stronger than yours. It's stronger than yours. It's stronger than yours. My love is stronger than your hate will ever be. And my faith is deeper than yours. It's deeper than yours. It's deeper than yours. My faith is deeper than your doubt will ever be. We move through the world like the shooting stars across the sky, splitting through the darkness, putting the light into their eyes. Oh, oh, oh. There you go.
Wow. Wow, amazing. Thank you. And I can't hear that song enough. We hear it, and it's great. It's got such a familiar vibe to it. Is that something you realize when you're writing that you're like, this song just has, I don't know, like you've heard it, but it's so different.
Well, I can tell you this. Thank you. Number one. Number two, when you know, you write songs all the time, you work on music all the time, and hopefully when you sit down to write, you're really going to be inspired. And I think that with that one, it was when the melody, lyrics, and the music, when it all comes together, and it just has that, as you said, like a really familiar feeling. That's pretty much that's what you're looking for, because it feels, you don't doubt yourself as much, you know, because there's always a critic sitting on your shoulder for anything that you're doing, right? Anything that you're writing, you have the critic, and it's got to pass your own scrutiny. And I think that was one that it really felt easy, and it felt really good right away. And I think that for the most part, it was the lyrics that I felt really good about, and it all came very quickly.
Well, it's worked out amazingly, and with this whole thing with the quarantine and the COVID-19, I'm going to say like in 6 or 7 months, maybe even before then, we're going to have a whole bunch of new, amazing, powerful music because of just the feelings that people are dealing with. What have you been doing in your spare time there in Nashville?
Oh, I completely agree with you. I keep thinking like, wow, 2021, we're going to see some of the we're going to we're going to be reading some of the best books and hearing some of the best music that we've heard in a long time. I think
Yeah,
that culturally, everyone being forced to be on lockdown and I think reassess their perspectives on daily life and how we communicate with each other. Um, just all of these things. There's always a silver lining, and there are many silver linings to all of this tragic stuff. Unfortunately, there's a lot of casualties, and there is it's beyond the inconvenience and people putting you know thank you to the frontline workers and everyone that's out there daily putting their lives on the line. Amazing, and very thankful for that. But with all of the devastation, the silver lining of people having to step back and reassess and have a different perspective on things, I think it's going to be magical. It already is. You know, I talk to people and I think that people are communicating more than usual. I think that people are calling each other more often. Because people have cabin fever, so they're reaching out. They're reaching out and they're talking to their family. They're talking to their loved ones a little bit more often. There's nothing wrong with that.
yeah, you're absolutely right. And as we do this interview, typically we would do this on the phone. But this is a new kind of way of conducting an interview on Instagram and Facebook, and it's a really cool thing to be able to see you and talk to you, and it's just kind of a really organic thing.
I totally agree. Yeah, I'm all about it. I think first of all, this is crazy. Like we're
Yeah,
so fortunate to be able to communicate this way, and not just us, that everyone else is able to tune in. So you have all of those people out there in their houses, in their bedrooms, their living rooms, whatever, and everyone's hunkered down, and we're able to interact this way. And I keep seeing, down at the bottom of the screen, there's all of these comments people are writing in, and it's oh, see, right here, Wizard Cal. Right now, we
Wizard Cal.
have a lot of pressure and time on our hands. Yeah, we were joking yesterday. Pressure and nothing but time is what we've got right now. But this is phenomenal that we have a technology is really at the forefront with our communication right now, and we're making it work.
You bet we are. Well, Jay, man, we appreciate you spending some time with us here today and talking about our rival sons and the stuff that you're doing. We super appreciate it.
Well, thank you, Big J.
Yeah, and Jay, I was calling it Jay on Jay. So
Jay.
I'm the cheesy morning show guy. I got to do that.
No, it's a real pleasure, and I just want to give my best. A lot of love to everyone out there. I want to thank terrestrial radio, because you guys are keeping it going. Whenever anything hits the fan, radio is always there. It's kind of like the taproot of local communication, you know. And so yeah, it's a real pleasure, and thank you for the interest, and thank you to our fans out there. And of course, as soon as we can, we're going to get out there. We're going to come see you. I love Boise. I love being out there, especially this time of year, being out there running on the river. Love it out
Yeah,
there. Yeah,
yeah.
that
Well,
beautiful trail
hopefully,
running.
2021.
Oh yeah,
Hopefully. All
absolutely.
right. Thanks, Jay.
You got it. Everybody be cool.
All right, bye. All right, that was awesome. Totally awesome. So thank you to everybody who wrote in. Sorry we didn't get to all your questions, but hopefully we'll be able to do it again real soon. So thank you, everybody. As I figure out how to shut this thing off. I don't know how to shut it off.